since I don't have any children yet, how do you be a part of that, Because I think some of our men too, this is something that I believe is happening, is our men are still being really young.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we don't have to grow up.
It's true. It's very true.
And I'm still trying to not be grown up, but I got to grow up, dude, because they're coming after me or whatever,
Who's coming after
Nobody is, but my mom's like, what are we doing? Like, are you going to get a family or what's going to go on?
Do you want a family?
I think so, dude, because I think I would miss out on it, I'd like to have a son, be a good dad, make my wife happy or whatever until she gets fucking all pissed off.
What's stopping you?
Huh?
What's stopping you?
Dude, I haven't even met my wife yet, first of all, and I'm I got some shit to tell her when I do meet her. I'll tell you.
Do you pray for her?
Huh? I do pray about it.
Do you pray for her specifically?
No, I haven't prayed for her specifically, but I do pray. It's a good point. I guess
she's alive. So if she's alive, maybe a good prayer would be, you know what? Because just think she's doing something right this second. Just think if you started to fervently pray for that specific person, you'll be building her before she even gets to you, bro.
Wow. Yeah, it's like creating when you get to make your own person on NBA 2K or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
The spiritual side, though. Yeah,
totally.
Yeah. Like, I got you. Yeah, I got you.
But yeah, I made a list of things I would like, but then it's like I don't want to get too locked in. But that's a good call, man.
Yeah.
And just pray that God, I have been praying that God gives me just the ability to lean more into becoming who I need to be in that situation.
May I ask you a semi-personal question?
Yeah.
Is the reason why maybe holding you back a little bit the fact that you still like dating multiple women, or like you don't really want to lock down, you kind of really want to experience more?
Well, I think, I've thought about that. I don't know. It's been hard with work. It's like work is my biggest relationship. I mean, when I have a free moment, I'm working. I like it, where I'm planning or I'm thinking, what could I do? And not even just work, but like, how could I start to do like work that is more giving back to the community? Like, but you start to think of like, okay, well, what can I create now that could really be part of something cool or help people? And I think we all think like that, but yeah, so just any facet of like, what can I create while I'm still have some creativity in me, And then as far as dating, like I try to put myself out there, I'm not on the apps, but I'll meet girls, go on dates, I'm pretty brave to be like, oh, let's meet up for a coffee or let's grab a dinner or something like that. I feel like I'm kind of tired of running around, to be honest. I think it's kind of leaves out of your system a little bit.
It does.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I feel like I'm at.
Cool.
And then it's like you get into an age range where you're like, okay, well, it's kind of tough. Sometimes some people have children. So, but once you realize that, you're like, okay, well, I never thought about it if I would date somebody with children, So then you start to think about that and learn different little things and stuff.
With sleeping in the same bed with a person, does that bother you?
Yeah, that bothers me. A lot of times I don't like it that much, but.
So maybe that's something that you could find in common with a person, and maybe your intimacy comes together at a certain space and you still have enough space to be apart from each other. And if at the jump, if they're cool with that, maybe that's something that you can start off from that point. Because some people don't like to sleep together. You heard of sleep divorce? You never heard of sleep divorce?
No, but I would love if my wife had her own room, though.
Yeah, sleep divorce is where people don't sleep in the same bed, but they maintain an intimate relationship. Then their relationships actually flourish. And I don't like to call it sleep divorce. I like to call it like solitary intimacy, like where you're cool being by yourself and you're cool being by yourself when we come together whenever. Just some stuff to throw out there.
I think it's neat. I think there's stuff like that. Relationships are kind of evolving and stuff too, I think. People are figuring out kind of what works for them. I think sometimes I've been afraid to maybe even say what I feel like. Yeah, if I would be like, hey, I'd love it if I could have a separate bedroom than my wife, And if we wanted, then we could have our own rooms.
I think that's the most awesome thing possible.
And that would be fine. Yeah. So, but I think for years you get caught in this idea like, oh, that's going to be crazy to say to somebody, But then I think as time goes on, you're like, nothing's really that crazy. You just have to say it and see if somebody else is okay with it, know?